Stop.
Are you serious? You heard that?
Yes.
I don't
All right.
know,
Shh.
like, what?
Stop.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the top 8 feature match in Yu-Gi-Oh! Overdoses 7th constructed tournament. I'm joined today by Alistair Albans in this match of Elijah Gersten against Andrew Bergen. Before we get into what they're using and stuff like that, Alistair, why don't you say hello to everybody?
Hi guys. Apparently Chris can't talk today because his every other word is just wrong.
Yeah.
But I have to rectify that situation by talking with utter clarity.
Awesome. So anyway,
that is what I'm bringing to the table today.
Clarity. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
to be clear then, Andrew Bergen is playing a Fire Fist deck, and he's pitted against Elijah Gersten and
Tin Fish Gadgets.
Tin Gold Plate or Goldfish or Goldfish Gadgets, whatever it is. He's running 9 gadgets, even though he's running 40 cards. But I mean, yeah. And then also to note, Andrew Bergen is not playing Saber Swords. He opened up with Rescue Rabbit. His awesome turn 1 play was this stupid card. Tiger.
What, King Tiger?
I was gonna say Tiger King, but I knew that was wrong. Oh, it is right. My bad.
King.
Tiger King. Okay, so
King Tiger is King Tiger Wang, who
all right.
Mix up all the time.
Anyway, so it could have been a Logia, but it's not. Alistair, I know you got feelings on this. Why don't you share them?
Oh yeah, well I don't know. Like I feel like sure there are merits to running the Sabersaurus, Sabersaurii, whatever you want to call them, multiples. You get to start with Logia when you open Rabbit, but I feel like it makes your Rabbits worse overall.
How's that?
I don't know, it makes it kind of awkward and stuff. It's just, I just rather have more beasts and run Tensus and stuff like that. It just always seemed to work better for me. The few games that I ever tried to run the Dino version of the deck, Sabersaurus is relatively does nothing, like if you just draw it by itself. Whereas, you can just either not run the second set of beasts. Force Raider is just better, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. I know a lot of people have had success with the Dino stuff.
Wait a second.
Recently, but that could also be because most people are just running that version anyway. So I don't know.
Did you just say you'd rather run Force Raider over Sabersaurus?
I'd rather run nothing. You know.
Well, why not do what Bergie's doing? He copied Mike Steinman's build, and I think he changed a card or added a card, but he's running Tengus. What do you feel about it?
Yeah, sure. That's fine, I guess. I mean, I don't see anything wrong. Like that card, I don't think is very good, but whenever I play against it and they have it in this deck, it seems to be really annoying, and it does some stuff for them, so it can't be too bad. Plus, it gets kind of big, which is cool. It can like crash into Thunder Kings and stuff.
I mean, no one runs Thunder King right now, and it's great. But it's great in the mirror. I'll give you it's great in the mirror, but it is horrible against everything else, including, and I think this is pretty important, waters, which is what the dinosaurs are pretty good for.
Yeah, I mean you can't really argue that opening Dolka turn 1 against waters is a good thing. And wow,
yeah,
this is I like the gadget deck now that it has this new fish card on top of the double summons. Double summon. When I first saw the double summon list popping up around, I guess it was YCS Providence not too long ago.
Whoa!
Actually, it was long ago now.
It was that was definitely before that.
Oh well, I mean that's when I actually saw people playing it at YCS's, but
Oh, okay.
I laughed when I first saw it. I was like, wow, that's a really cheesy looking thing. But if you think about it, all the gadgets just cancel it out, and then the fact that Gear Gigan or whatever just instantly searches you a card, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have a cost or anything. It just says you can normal summon an extra time, which is pretty sweet in a gadget deck where that's all it wants to do. But now with this fish card, it's like your deck just has double summons built into it for free.
Yep. The whole fact that the fish is a machine really changes things.
Yeah, they clearly made the card specifically, and they also made it a water just so that Abyss Dweller's even better with it. Like, right. They really they knew what they were doing. It's not like a coincidence. They set out to make a card that boosted gadgets up immensely, and this is what they came up with. And it has 2,000 defense. Like, geez,
yeah,
like as if it needed any stats at all. Like it could be a 0/0 and it would just be good. That's often a thing that Konami just does with cards like Tin Goldfish, for instance. The closest example that I can think of is being Debris Dragon, which would also be a fine card with 0/0 stats, 0-0, but they gave it 2,000 defense, so in the situations when you're running the plant deck and you needed a big defender against anti-meta and stuff like that,
still playable.
A lot of the time they couldn't get over Debris Dragon. They just couldn't. It would get you like 2 or 3 extra turns to win. Or I mean, to get into a position where you had, plays. Usually when you see Fire Fist start up with a Rabbit, and it gets them Tiger King with the infinite pluses and stuff, it's really good. But it looks like it's not doing so much here.
Well, I mean, he hasn't entered a battle phase. I mean, I guess it'll depend. But separate from that, before we go on, I just want to point your attention to Bergie's deck list. I didn't notice this before. He main decks a Dark Bribe.
Yeah, he does. I guess it kind of blended in there with the other traps. It's off to the right. Yeah, it's there. I don't really understand it. I guess, what is he looking to really stop? I guess it's like a cooler substitute to a second Starlight Road. It's more versatile, does the same thing that Starlight Road, minus blowing them out of the water and winning the game. But it accomplishes the same kind of goals as well as, I don't know, maybe shutting down a dark hole while they have. The one thing that I can see it doing, I can't really justify it necessarily, but I guess it stops like infestation pandemic. There we go with my clarity.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's like a thing. I guess it stops Forbidden Lance and the damage step, which is cool. But
that's honestly about the only thing I could think of. That anything you just said.
I don't really get it, but yeah, it probably could be just another card. Well, he's running 42. You could probably just take that out and take out maybe like a D Prisoner, a Mirror Force, or a Phoenix Chair, one of those cards. Or like he could take out any 2 cards.
Anyway,
and Dark Bribe could easily be the first one. But we have here a pretty sweet. Against any other deck, this actually would not just straight up be game.
Right.
But barring a Dark Hole, and even then, it's just. Yeah, this is brutal.
Dark Hole would be important. That's, I think, about the only chance he's got. But his 2 cards in his hand right now are the Template and the Gadget. And what with him running 9 gadgets, he could very well have even a second gadget in his hand. I can't imagine that things are looking good for him right now.
Yeah. He runs the Fortresses, but those don't. It's interesting. I guess you gotta wait to see if he exceeds with these bears, though I can imagine him not doing that. I can imagine him doing that to save himself from Dark Hole. But then again, he also has another tanky for next turn and all that jazz.
I would definitely exceed, I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
You would...
Because, if you're thinking about exceeding, it's like... You can leverage against him not having Dark Hole, or you can just go for the absolute blowout if he doesn't have it. Granted, you'll probably lose a bear to whatever he makes.
Right. I see what you're saying. I see. You're gonna keep a bear on the field no matter what.
Yeah, if you exceed, you kind of give that up, but you also won't lose anything almost no matter what. Dark Hole still does screw you a little bit. I guess Maestro could be fine if that's what you were thinking.
I was thinking that until I realized that it would lose both materials, and it's pointless anyway.
It would lose both materials, so...
On second thought, let me just look at this list. Your only real option... And was that the second tanky? Oh no, he searched out 2, right, or something like that, with the both bears. Oh, okay. Or one.
I have no idea. I didn't see really what. I can't check his graveyard, which is supremely annoying. But why can you not check people's graveyards when you're spectating a game on Dueling Network?
That's a good question.
Is it too much server load stuff kind of thing going on? I can imagine that, but I feel like as a spectator, your computer is already being sent the information as to what's in their graveyard, and in the event of a card moving from it.
Right.
So I feel like no, there's nothing to stop you from just being able to click in. To be honest, if you probably do run one of those weird programs where you can view all the stuff that your web browser has loaded up.
Right.
You can probably see what cards are in the graveyard with that. But so here's what we thought was going to happen.
By the way, on second thought, I was looking at his extra deck, and I was just like trying to think through what he could possibly do. I don't think there's any better play than just leaving the Bears. I think that was fine. I didn't want to be too critical of Bergie.
What's special on his extra deck?
Nothing.
I love how they don't. The Dweller's picture just doesn't load anymore for some reason. It's like one of the cards that just doesn't load. Also, the last time I played on Dueling, with a lot of the water monsters, like certain mermails wouldn't load, but all the Atlanteans would, or certain Atlanteans wouldn't load. It was a headache.
Yeah.
All right, Diamond Direwolf.
Doesn't seem like
you expected.
Yeah, and then he's gonna probably try to pop.
Well, yeah, okay, sure, but then he just gets destroyed by that.
So this is game's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take.
Even if the attack went through, what is he looking to do? Blow up the other bear or something, and then like, if he was lucky, he'd have a machine in hand for Fortress if he even had that, and it's just.
It would be terrible.
And I think he would have already summoned the Fortress main phase one unless he was really just worried about Mirror Push. But I don't know.
I'm sure he drew a bad hand.
Side deck wise.
Sure.
We got 2 Overworks.
Where are you looking? Oh, you're looking at Elijah's list?
Yeah, I'm looking at because I think the gadgets have. I'd say, I mean, it's tough, like, I want to say that they have the harder time in this thing just because of the nature of the 5 per second. However, it seems like the newest, I mean, the way gadgets are looking now with this fish is like, you don't just leave gadgets on the field, it doesn't work like that. So, I mean, maybe the fact that bear is just raw, bigger than all the gadgets is partially irrelevant, I don't know. So we're definitely going to see the 2 Overworks. Probably going to see Dust Tornado and MST.
That's about it.
Yeah, probably.
All right, let me ask you real quick. On Bergie's list, what's that card in between Night Beam and Rivalry?
Night Beam and Rivalry. Wait a second. Where's the? Oh, okay. My bad. In the side deck. That is. It's called like dark red. No, it's called red. Red Screen, I think. I believe it's called Red Screen. I'm just going off of my vast Yu-Gi-Oh knowledge of card
images.
Art images, yeah. Was I right? Red Screen. It kind of looks like it. I could be wrong. Is it Red Screen?
Not at all.
It's not Red Screen. Do you see how the image looks kind of similar? If it's not that could be the one with. Is it the one with Mobius and Breaker in it? Which one's that? Damn it. I could just be like entirely wrong on everything. I can't even tell you. Are you asking the watchers or something?
No. 1 sec.
Oh, okay. All right. We see the optimal play turn 1 here from Elijah, which is the turn 1. No using double summon, just straight up Goldfish, Gadget, Infinite plus. Well, it's actually just a +1, but I mean, you have a gadget. I mean, a Geigen, I don't know what he's called, Geigen on the field, just threatening to search yet another machine. Pretty hard to run over turn 1 without some help. And I think after we see the bear get searched out here, we can reasonably anticipate a Fiendish Chain or a Bottomless Trap Hole of some variety. And then on the other hand, we can also reasonably expect to see a Lance in response. Who knows? These are the interactions that decide the entire game. Oh, okay, overworked.
I don't even like overworked.
Yeah, it seems, especially when they're all running lances and stuff like that, unless you're trying to like catch up multiple monsters, which is kind of hard to do. Yeah, it's just not. I don't know. Seems like you could dedicate your side deck to more universal cards that kind of accomplish the same goal.
Yeah.
For instance, if you really wanted to, Trap Hole comes to mind. Straight up Trap Hole.
Okay, calm it down.
No, it's clearly not the same thing, but I don't know. I guess when you're running gadgets, you already have like pretty much every trap that you could be running, so maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't know if Overwork's necessary considering it really only goes in against one deck. Alrighty, we see the infinite pluses of gadgets taking over. It's always like a pain to be on the receiving end of, because it's like you can destroy as many cards as you want to, but you're not really getting anywhere. And even if he has like Mirror Force here, he's really, you know, it's like a -1 Mirror Force. How crazy is that? I mean, sure, you can't really argue that saving yourself 4,100 points of damage is a -1, but like overall card count wise, it is a -1 Mirror Force if he does it. And Dark Hole would be the same right about now, which he would want to save for a card like Machina Fortress, which will undoubtedly come down in the course of this duel. It's interesting. I like how he only runs the 1 gear frame and 2 fortresses. I mean, I'm sure that might be a standard thing in like the Japan lists, but
you know,
I'm not even they play this deck in Japan just because of how good elemental dragons are. But
right, but that's actually something really interesting. I've seen people like experiment with all different kinds of ratios with gear frame and fortress and stuff like that, and I don't think that 1-to-2 ratio is that bad. Like, which is
it doesn't seem like
because it's
when
just
you're searching out infinite, like you only want the one search sharp.
Right. It seems very well thought out, I think.
Yeah, you won't get it. I mean, I'm sure with 9 gadgets, your hands already look kind of gross already. Like adding more Stratoses and more big machines maybe doesn't really give you the kind of balanced out hands that you're looking for.
It's kind of crazy if you look at it, like how so many different cards, even with 3 of each gadget in the template, are fit into this deck. Like he runs all, Elijah runs all the traps that you would expect, and I mean he's obviously got the ultimate offering. He fits in typhoons and double summons and lances and fortress.
Okay, so I'm assuming that Bergen, Bergen.
Well, yeah, Andrew Bergen. Yeah.
Bergen. Okay. I didn't know if I was pronouncing the last name right. I don't know.
We call him Bergie.
But yeah, Shane's looking at the computer screen. I don't know why he's doing that.
I heard Yu-Gi-Oh talks.
Yeah, we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, Shane.
I'm back in Yu-Gi-Oh, somewhere.
You're not back into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yo, Shane, what's good?
So like I see Tengu in his deck right now, and I'm wondering why those aren't Thunder Kings. Like I'm kind of confused.
Oh
like,
wait.
I'd imagine that he sided in Thunder King like guaranteed. So then, if that's the case, what did he side out for if not Tengu, which doesn't seem to do anything in this matchup?
Right. That is a good point. We never talked about what Bergie was going to side in.
Yeah.
But
I would assume like some combination of MST, Nightbeam, 2 Thunder Kings, possibly whatever that blue and red card is. I have no clue what it is, but it seems like it'd be awesome.
Yeah, and then that's it, right? But this seems like the matchup where you want Thunder King, like if but no other matchup.
Yeah, exactly. This it's even questionable against the mirror match just because you just get run over so easily. And I graciously timed out, so I have to find you again, which is annoying.
Thanks for the.
I forgot about timeouts. They're a reality. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Overdose. Aha. Back again. Alright, what happened? Okay, so you got Deprison for one of his gears. The one with the materials, I assume? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know Bergen to have a bear in his hand? Not that it seems like it would be incredibly powerful here anyway, just because of the 2 back rows. As a Fire Fist player, you're always kind of just hoping that they only have like 1 back row or no back rows at all. That's really what you want. But I think that's almost every deck in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Just don't have back rows. Okay, Rabbit. I think Rabbit's actually like not as good as just having a straight up player here, just because of how vulnerable you are to bottomless trap hole and how little Lance does in that situation.
Let me ask you a quick question.
With that.
Let me ask you a quick question. That Dark Bribe comes into play.
But I just, it doesn't seem like it's gonna do anything here,
Yeah, I mean it's
especially
fun.
Since he does have another macro in it, there's a high chance that it could get flipped,
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure, go ahead.
Fortress is on the field. Gear frame is attached. Opponent summons Black Rose. What happened?
Black Rose Dragon.
Yes.
Now that's like a really old ruling, but I want to say based on Drago Sack and tokens, right? You know what that is?
Yes.
Okay, when that gets Dark Hold, I've Dark Holded on Dev Pro, which handles all the rulings for you, and it did not destroy the Drago stack. So I would say that it applies the same way.
Now I have to like.
And from what I remember, it works the same way too.
That is not what I thought.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I can understand like why you would say that. But Fortress and Unions are just always weird. It's been a long time since that's ever come up.
I imagine.
It's been like a good 3 years for me since I've had that come up. And I don't remember how it was ruled, although I feel like I remember being upset by how it was ruled and it not working in my favor because I clearly was not the one running gear frame.
Okay, so first things first.
Sure.
Let me just Machina gear frame.
Yeah, you can just look it up, gear frame, Black Rose. I'm sure. Yeah, it's like the first result.
You read that while I tell you this. And this, I don't want to distract too much from this game. It's a ruling question. It came up. I got to deal with it right now.
Yeah.
So, on gear frame it says if the equipped monster would be destroyed, destroy this card instead. So
yeah, it protects it.
Okay,
I knew it.
But it says destroy this instead, as in that one has to be destroyed and this one can't be being destroyed. Isn't that what instead means?
Konami's KSS, man. It's just how it like. It's not really. There's like you can't really say why. It's like it's one of those things where we created this card. This is how we intend it to work. So if anything comes up that's been released before this card or around the same time, it's meant to work against those cards, even if it doesn't seem like the game's inherent like rules would dictate that.
Before you go too much further, the admin who came and questioned that said he just looked it up and I was right. So get out of town.
When did he look it up? Is it like a Konami ruling? I looked it up too and I found the opposite.
He said that it was a TCG versus OCG thing.
Oh, okay, sure.
Anyway, so we're headed into Game 3.
I think that means it's an event-specific ruling.
Probably.
Meaning whatever a judge wants to tell you, then that's what comes up.
Right. Well, anyway, now that we're off the topic of that, and I'm glad we are because I want to get back to this game. So Elijah just pulled it out in the second half, and he didn't need Ultimate Offering, which is, I guess if you haven't been watching
like they're like, oh, if I flip this and resolve it, I win kind of thing.
Well, the thing is, I've seen Elijah lose a lot of game ones today and come back with multiple drawings of Ultimate Offering. So, yeah, so this is surprising. I think he's due right now.
Okay, well, we can see an Ultimate Offering. I wouldn't mind seeing an Ultimate. It's been a while since I've seen an Ultimate Offering win, actually. Ooh.
Bergie's got that. He's gonna run into a prison, right?
So this either means he has like a terrible hand because he sees that his opponent has 2 back rows,
and he also didn't bother summoning the gadget.
Right. So I think that telegraphs 10 goldfish or something like that. Maybe he doesn't care about giving up the fortress to a deep prisoner or bottomless or what have you, and just wants to bait out a back row so that he can. I have no idea what's going on.
Combos, man. Now he can exceed. Whereas if he just summoned it, then it would have been the same thing. Never mind. It could depend. It could depend what color he has in his hand. He could have other gadgets.
True. Also, this way he gets to summon it in defense, so we're just idiots actually. It's to save potential 600 or 700 points of damage. Which if you're going for like the most optimal version of the play, you could argue that this is the way to do it, just because.
Yeah.
You get to save yourself some damage. Although maybe arguments can be made about what order you do it in, just because of simply testing the waters and which cards do you want to put down first, which cards do you want to get responded to. But I'd assume that he has more answers to that than
we do, right? Yeah.
He knows his hand.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
We don't know his hand, unfortunately. That'd be so awesome if we knew his hand.
Could you imagine if that'd be so much cheating? Like watchers would be like, "All right, he's got this." Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. There's like a lot of things that a lot of people could do. That's I guess it's
Wow, he's Solemn Judgment the gadget.
Okay, well, slam another gadget. Is that what we're gonna see? Was he just making the pro read on the Solemn? And I know you don't have it. Well, that also telegraphs that Bergen just has a weak hand. He doesn't even have to attack with Fortress at this point. Um, it's really outside of my stroke, right? I mean, I guess.
No, yeah. Maestro.
I mean, I don't know. We don't know what he has. It's tough to say. Well, Maestro does things certainly, but in the event that he would make Maestro without Rabbit, he'd still be trading Fortress for another card, such as a back row.
Well.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, now the Fortress is safe to attack, and I'd say this game, despite having an exposed red gadget to Bear, it doesn't look so far out of Elijah's reach.
Well,
especially if he has scared.
If he's got, I literally can't make any reads versus you.
I was having trouble myself, Elijah. So there you go.
I'm
the classy winky face in response. All right. Are we going to see a bear? Or are we going to see a bear take down a red gadget? These are the questions. Or are we just going to see straight up Dark Hole, which would also be, I'm sure, incredibly good.
I'm a little I don't know how I feel about Berge using Solemn there.
Yeah. It's tough to say. Like, if he hadn't, would he have had to have solemned the resulting gear gigant? Yes or no?
But then he just gets. I like. But all right. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, you could give him the gadget to his hand, solemn the gigant. And
also, when you do that, you turn off an attack target for your bear. So this actually looks better to me. If you're going to solemn at all, this looks like the way to solemn.
That's if you have a bear.
Well, I mean, if you don't, then you're still in a terrible position. You want to draw it.
Well, yeah, I guess the Fortress is still going to be there no matter what, too.
Yeah, Fortress is going to be there no matter what. And then if you summon the gear, he obviously gets another gadget, which is not what you're looking for, and then you don't have something to attack with over with Bear. As opposed to summoning there, you just leave him with the 1300 that's exposed, has no effect.
Sure.
Granted, it is a floating Xyz material, so...
Sure. That's fine.
Yeah, sure. So what are we going to see here? Just a Zen mains or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, a Zen mains an attack even.
To run with the gadget.
It's, you feel like he has more back rows, but now he's just really opening himself up to... I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, like that.
There you go.
Brutal.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, jeez. Elijah just wins here if he does anything.
Wow.
Anything at all, but...
That's crazy.
Okay, it appears that he does.
Whoa.
I don't understand.
I mean, he's going to try to go for game, but, like...
Yeah, if he doesn't... Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess, yes.
And that's it.
I was just thinking, okay, I was like, wait a second. I read it as the damage being, like, not enough with the heavy storm.
Right.
And then, like, I was like, so if he has a monster, he wins, so why is he heavy storming at all?
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, oh, it's just game on board. Okay, so
it
wins.
It took me a second to figure out that Berge didn't main Gores or anything, and then I was like, well, that's good.
I mean, Gores isn't even necessarily what I was worried about. I was just like, it just seemed like a really weird thing to do. I was like, oh, crap, like, what the hell? Because, you said in the comments, man, I'm good. Then you just don't realize, like, what's going on. Like, oh, okay. You assume that he has a monster, but instead it's just heavy storm.
Anyway.
Equally as good in that scenario, but awesome. So we see Gadgets take down Fire Fist. Not necessarily what I expected, but I like to see a good showing out of this tin deck because I've never seen it played in a tournament before, and it delivers, I suppose.
Not for nothing. I went to 2 locals this weekend, and I'm not gonna harp on this topic or anything like that, but I went to 2 locals this weekend, and over the course of 10 rounds, I played 3 gadget decks.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm from the New Jersey area, so like, let me tell you, when this is when you're looking forward to YCS New Jersey, you've got people here. You got a lot of people here who don't want to spend money on waters. You've got a lot of people here who are coming back to the game just because the YCS is in the area. just to play, and gadgets are something that they're familiar with, and they're like, oh, it's got new support, da 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 da.
Well, I can also imagine gadgets being like really good against waters whenever you have goldfish, just because of
Dweller.
the dweller
Right.
that automatically makes a
that is
2200
great.
Dweller at that.
Right. That is absolutely great. Anyway, so just I just don't want people who are watching this to think that gadgets are a fluke. They might be something, you know, to watch out for, or to consider playing at the YCS in New Jersey coming up. But outside of that, I guess we're done here. And that was a quick 3 game, right? 3 games under a half hour.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. That's
well then. Alistair, thanks for doing commentary with me. I appreciate having you. I love having you every time, and I'd love to have you back anytime.
Okay, sweet. I might be around if you want to do like a top 2 thing. I have a little tournament coming up on Magic Online, but we'll see.
Okay, I'll hit you up. Thanks, man.
Okay, see. Bye.
Bye.